Okay, so I saw this on Twitter. It says, "What's the best pop song ever created?" This is going to be really hard for me because pop is my favorite genre. I wanted to say went with this kind of like pop the genre and not necessarily popular because it would take me a lot longer if I did it that way. There is some leniency because there's some songs and artists that just had to be included in everything, but a certain artist, you see them not included, that's kind of the reason why. But let's just get into it. So first up, Fantasy by Mariah Carey. I mean, incredible what she was able to do with this song, what she did with that Genius of Love Tom Tom Club sample. That is how you flip a sample on its head and turn it into a great record. I really love her songwriting on here. Her vocals on here are out of the world as per usual. And this is the first song by a female artist to debut at #1 on the Billboard 100 chart, and deservedly so. She ate. She ate. I also said Emotions. This is a great song and it's one of the best vocal performances of all time and solidifies her as one of the best vocalists ever. And yeah, what she does in the song, absolutely insane. So I wanted to mention it. I thought about it and I decided to add in Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. This is the best Christmas song of all time. I don't care. I don't care how many times it's played all the way throughout Christmas and the year I'm going to be listening to it. It is what it is. Incredible vocals, amazing songwriting. She wrote this song, by the way. A lot of people don't know that, and stellar production. What more can I ask for? This song is a classic, a staple until the end of time, and a lot of y'all faves wish that they could have one song as successful as this, and we love it. Janet Jackson, All For You. Yeah, this song is brilliant. It's super catchy, very fun listen as well. I love the choreography. I love the music videos. Her vocals on here are great. I love the writing, the production, like everything on here is phenomenal. And yeah, it's gonna go in my pop song Hall of Fame, I fear. Then I also had to put Doesn't Really Matter by Janet on here as well because this is like a top 5 Janet song all time for me. Love it that much. Music video was iconic, very futuristic, great vocals. And if you listen to the vocal layering on the song, it's absolutely insane. Great production, great songwriting. Yep, they had a hit. Last Janet song I figured I would mention is Miss You Much. I mean, this entire album is goated, is one of my pop Bibles. You could pick any song from here and you would be correct. But I decided to go this one because it's amazing. And the choreography and that whole music video, yeah, one of the best ever. Yeah, Taylor Swift, I decided to go Blank Space. The version on the original 1989 album is better. This was These Might Drag Me. I really don't care. Original 1989, one of my favorite pop albums of all time, one of my pop Bibles, as I said many times over. So basically put the entire album on here because she did what had to be done. Hit after hit after hit. I also really love Shake It Off as well. People do too much on that song, but it's fun. She said haters gonna hate, and exactly. So yeah, not even to mention, great album tracks such as I Know Places, Clean, yeah. She did what had to be done. Ariana Grande, Into You. The fact that this was at #1 for 87 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, we failed as a society. I'll never get over it. I'll never get over it. Her vocals on here, incredible. I love the production on here, the songwriting. Yeah, this is one of her best. I don't care. Rock With You single version, Michael Jackson. Absolutely amazing record. Also, basically the entire Thriller album. I mean, every song is a hit, so I wanted to mention this album because how can you not? It's definitely one of the best pop albums of all time. Britney Spears, Baby One More Time, one of the best debut singles of all time. Great vocals, production, lyrics, super catchy, and it doesn't really get much better than this, I fear. Same with Oops, I Did It Again. I mean, to have such strong singles, amazing. Britney had hit after hit after hit. I have to give her 10s, and shout out to Max Martin as well for producing. I wanted to throw in Cinderella from her self-titled. It's my favorite Britney song, and I feel like it deserves a little bit more appreciation. Yes, I know people are going to be knocking down the door because they didn't include Toxic, which is a great song in its own right, and I enjoyed it. A little bit overplayed, but it's still classic. But I want to talk about Cinderella because it's just amazing. Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance With Somebody, obviously a classic. Her vocals on here, sublime, great production, great lyrics, and yeah, it makes you nostalgic, but in the best way. Whitney's one of the best singers to ever do it. She's the voice for a reason. Beyonce, Halo. I know it's very overplayed, but it still remains one of my favorite Beyonce songs of all time. Songs are popular for a reason, and she did what had to be done on the song. Shout out to Ryan Tedder. He ate. Also wanted to mention Crazy in Love featuring Jay-Z, and yeah, I mean, to come on the scene with this, I know the girls were shaking in their boots, and I mean, could you really blame them? Production on here, I love the sample, very flashy in a way, and I really love the way that Beyonce just really added her vocal flair onto it. I love the entire song, amazing record. For a Destiny's Child pick, I did Survivor. It's kind of poppier than their other stuff. I mean, I'd mainly consider Beyonce an R&B artist, but that's kind of why I bent it a little bit for her in terms of popular, but she does have some pop songs, which is Survivor. Great song. I could have also done like Bills, Say My Name. I mean, they got many classics, but I really did enjoy this one. And whenever they performed it live, she would literally always change the lyrics. She would literally say, Thought We Wouldn't Sell Without You sold 12 million. She just kept updating it as the sales kept updating. I love the pettiness of it, but iconic. Had to do Miley Cyrus, We Can't Stop. This song had me in a chokehold at the time. It still does. Great record. I could have done, Party in the USA, which is a classic. I could have done The Climb. I could have even digged into her Hannah Montana bag because she had hit after hit after hit. And people play in her face too often for me, but I decided to go with this one today. Perfection. Kelly Clarkson, Since You've Been Gone. Yeah, this album was a smash hit for a reason, and this song is a big reason for that, honestly. And yeah, Kelly Clarkson, she was on fire, plain and simple. For Adele, I decided to go with Rumor Has It. I could have went like 10 different ways with this, to be honest with you, because she has a lot of hits, and, especially on this album, hit after hit after hit. But, this is the one that really had me in a chokehold recently, so I figured that I would go with it. But, I easily could have done like Someone Like You, and then, Set Fire to the Rain is obviously a classic as well. But I think this one is super cool. The production very much stands out to me. I like the vocals, the subject matter. It's just a very cool song, and one of Adele's best, in my opinion. So I went with this one today. Lady Gaga, Bad Romance. Lady Gaga has a lot of hits, actually. Whenever I was looking back at her discography, I was like, that a hit, that a hit, that a hit. This is the one that I decided to go with today. But yeah, Lady Gaga, hitmaker, I fear. Speaking of hitmakers, I had to include Rihanna in this video because, what she's been able to do with pop music and pop culture, in that span, incredible. So Umbrella, obviously a classic, so I put this one here. I like S&M. I think it's a great song for what it's worth. I also could have done Only Girl in the World. Diamonds is a great song as well. Rude Boy was a hit for her. She has 14 number one hits. So basically anyone you go, you can't really argue with it. And she has a lot of great songs as well. So these are just the two that I wanted to mention today, but I could have went a lot of other ways with it. Royals by Lorde. Pretty sure this is 14 times platinum. Tied with Mariah Carey, All in One, of course, This Is You. Let that sink in. She was like 16, 17 when she wrote the song, and she had a hit on her hands. I'm sorry. The impact it's had on the culture, we can't forget it, and we have to respect it. Avril Lavigne, What the Hell? Max Martin, one of the best pop producers and writers of all time, I fear, and they struggled with this one. Gwenstefani, Holla Back Girl. I learned, apparently, that this was a diss track. I forget who she was dissing, but yeah, she ate. And she made a hit out of it. That's what I really respect. I love a good diss track, and yeah, this is a classic. Fleetwood Mac, Landslide, beautiful song, and they have a lot of other great songs they could have done. Rhiannon, Dreams, and, some of their other hits, but I love this one, so I wanted to mention it. For Paul McCartney and Wings, I decided to go with My Love because it's a beautiful ballad, a classic, and one of my favorites. If you wanted to go with something more poppy, then I could do silly love songs from this album. For a Beatles pick, I decided to go with Hey Jude, one of the first songs I knew when I was a kid, and I've always loved it. I think that it's just a classic song. I think it's beautifully sang and performed. Could be a little bit shorter. I think 3-4 minutes would have been the sweet spot for it, but a classic regardless. For Madonna, I decided to go Like a Prayer, and yeah, this is obviously a classic. Madonna has a lot of pop classics for sure. Like a Virgin is also a classic as well, and so yeah, I definitely got to give her spot in this video, because you can't make a video about best pop songs and not include her. I would say I prefer Miley Cyrus's version, though, like vocally, or pretty much anyone else's version. Madonna's voice is not particularly my favorite, as I said. I'm supposed to get in her discography this year, and we'll see what happens with that, but this is my pick for her. Tina Turner, What's Love Got to Do with It? Yeah, what she did with the song and just the grit that her voice has to it, I automatically had to include it. Tina, the queen of rock and roll. Celine Dion, That's the Way It Is. Yes, and yes. I thought about including some of her other songs, but I love this one. I need to get in her discography. She is on my list this year, and so I hope that she has a fair amount of up-tempos, because I know that she more so swings toward the ballads. But this is such a fun song to listen to. I love her vocals on here. I love the bridge. It's one of my favorite bridges of all time. Yeah, she slid. Stop by the Spice Girls, and Wannabe could be on this list as well. Believe by Cher. We were just talking about this song the other day and everything. The autotune of the song, it kind of ate. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but what she was able to do with that, and just have a really catchy song overall. And this was number one, and deservedly so. Yeah, she ate. Still Into You by Paramore. Also, Ain't It Fun could definitely make the cut. Hayley Williams, a little bit underrated as a vocalist, I would say, but they ate. In terms of a modern example of great pop work, I would definitely give it to Levitating by Dualipa. This album had multiple hits off of it, but this was, you know, probably one of my favorites, so I decided to go with this one. The remix was trash, did not need it. The solo version is perfect. Queen, You're My Best Friend. Very simple, very nostalgic, and well done. Shout out to John Deacon for writing a classic. Freddie Mercury has great vocals. So that's going to be in my list. I know that there's a lot of other songs I could have included from different genres, but I already stated my criteria for this video, and I'm sure that there's some people I'll be crucified for not including, but it is what it is. There's a lot of songs that I could have mentioned that I didn't today because I have to finish this video, but let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments. Let's continue that discussion.